Welcome to today's Explainer. If you love understanding the big picture through structured information, you are absolutely in the right place. Today is August 14th, 2026, and we're going on a little journey through today's extremes, from the physical climate outside to the rapidly shifting technological climate on our screens. Grab a coffee, and let's jump right in.
104 degrees. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the peak temperature we're seeing today, baking Tulsa, Oklahoma under mostly sunny skies. I wanted to start right here because it perfectly frames a day defined by nationwide extremes. Whether you're sweating it out, dodging a sudden thunderstorm, or, believe it or not, reaching for a light jacket, today's map is a total study in contrasts.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the eastern weather mix, then head into the scorching south in Texas, find some relief with storms in the middle, check out the West Coast weather contrasts, and finally, we'll pivot indoors for our daily tech news radar.
Section 1. The Eastern Weather Mix. We're talking humidity, sun, and sudden storms.
We're really seeing a tale of two distinct eastern zones today. Up in the Northeast, Boston is sitting at just a gorgeous sunny 82 degrees, and New York City is partly cloudy at 87. But man, you drop just a few hours south into the mid-Atlantic, and Richmond and Virginia Beach are blowing right past that 90-degree threshold, hitting 90 and 92 respectively, and both are dealing with thunderstorms. It's that classic summer atmospheric battleground where pleasant skies get abruptly interrupted by a sudden downpour.
Moving further south, Florida and the Southeast are basically offering a sauna with a chance of a shower special today. Miami's a sunny 92, but the interior, it is sweltering. Tallahassee is getting battered by storms at 98 degrees. Over in Louisiana, Baton Rouge is just baking at a sunny 98, while Savannah hits 97 with some thunderstorms. You know, we're flirting dangerously close to that 100-degree mark down there, especially combined with that intense southern humidity.
Moving on to Section 2, the scorching south and Texas. Time to crank that AC to the max.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer concentration of triple-digit heat baking the south-central U.S. right now. Like we mentioned earlier, Tulsa is our hook today at a blistering 104 degrees. Oklahoma City isn't far behind at 102, Dallas and Fort Worth bone dry and baking at 101 degrees under sunny skies. But take a look at the outlier here, Houston. They're sitting at a slightly cooler 96 degrees, but that comes at the cost of stormy interference and some seriously stifling Gulf moisture.
Over in the desert Southwest, the heat is equally aggressive, but with a bit of a twist. The National Weather Service is officially flagging both Yuma at 102 degrees and Phoenix at 100 degrees as very hot. But check out the weather conditions next to Phoenix and Las Vegas. Thunderstorms. Yeah, Vegas is actually down to 93 degrees with storms rolling through. It's super rare to see this kind of moisture bringing storms to these typically arid desert hubs in the middle of August.
To put all this into perspective, Miami is famous for its sweltering summers, right? But today's 92 degrees is easily dwarfed by Dallas at 101 and Phoenix at 100. It just goes to show exactly how much hotter the South and Southwest are running today compared to our traditional heat capitals. All right, Section 3, storms in the middle. We're talking some much-needed relief and rain.
There's a really drastic atmospheric shift happening right down the middle of the country today. While Texas and Oklahoma are just bone dry at 104 degrees, the Mountain West is getting these heavy rains that are dragging temperatures way down. Billings, Montana, for example, is enjoying a brisk 73 degrees with showers. I mean, imagine that. Literally a 31-degree difference straight up the map.
Across the broader Midwest and Mountain West, we're seeing some fantastic regional relief. Chicago's a mild 80 degrees with showers, and Denver's at 84 with thunderstorms. But the real winner here? Sioux Falls. Following yesterday's heavy rains, they are sitting at a very comfortable 75 degrees with continued showers. Honestly, if you're looking for an escape from the August heat, the midsection of the country is exactly where you want to be right now.
Next up, Section 4, West Coast weather contrasts, cool coasts and smoky skies.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the West Coast is just deeply divided today. The usually baking California interior is catching an unusual break. Sacramento is at a totally manageable 81 degrees and Fresno at 89. That's well below their recent extremes. Meanwhile, up in the Pacific Northwest, they are dealing with some intense environmental challenges. Portland and Yakima are battling smoky skies and temperatures in the mid to high 80s, which is a stark reminder of the broader environmental conditions impacting that region this season. But if you're wondering where the absolute chilliest spots on our major city map are today, look no further than coastal California. San Francisco is holding steady at 68 degrees and mostly cloudy. San Diego sits at 77, and Los Angeles comes in at 80.
Seriously, San Francisco at 68 degrees provides the ultimate refreshing contrast to that 104-degree hook we started with back in Tulsa. It is literally nature's air conditioning at its finest.
Okay, let's pivot. Section 5, Daily Tech News Radar. We're looking at the AI horizon. So if you're staying indoors today to beat the heat or wait out those rainstorms, this is exactly what you'll be reading about. The timeline of recent AI developments is moving at an absolute breakneck pace. On July 10th, OpenAI pushed corporate innovation forward by launching GPT 5.6. Then just 5 days later, on July 15th, legal friction hits as the New York Times seeks sanctions against OpenAI. And fast forward to just a couple weeks ago, on August 3rd, the global landscape shifted when Chinese AI company Moonshot released their Kimi K3 model, which reportedly matches U.S. frontier models.
Let's break down the details here. First off, OpenAI's GPT 5.6 release wasn't just some minor update. Paired with ChatGPT work, it's squarely targeting enterprise knowledge workers, aiming to create a unified AI workspace. Second, on the legal front, the New York Times isn't just suing. A recent court filing alleges that OpenAI withheld evidence regarding their training data. We are impartially watching a massive legal precedent unfold with this one. And finally, that Moonshot Kimi K3 release, the data shows it is actively dominating OpenRouter's top 10 list right now. It really proves that the frontier of AI is a truly global, fiercely competitive race.
All right, we've tracked scorching highs, dramatic cooldowns, and some intense shifts in our technological climate today. The data shows us a world in constant flux. So whether you're indoors dodging storms in the Midwest, hiding from the Texas heat, or tracking the rapid evolution of AI, how is today's climate impacting you? Are you adapting to these extremes or just weathering them? Think about that today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.